Right, how I go about writing a Dowr An Boekka song. At the moment I start every song on the guitar. That's how I compose my music currently. On my last solo album I did compose the song Think Like Nobody's Watching on the bass and then translated it to the guitar, which is something I want to explore further on my next solo album. Perhaps compose the piece of music, the track, on a separate instrument for each occasion. But anyway, I'm going to just show you a little bit of Dowr An Boekka. So I start on this wonderful instrument here and I just jam. The way that I compose tracks is I like to follow where my fingers naturally are on the fretboard. So no sort of stop starting, jumping all over the place. I feel like this has a better flow. Occasionally I do that sort of thing. Decrepit Birth springs to mind, where it's all over the place, stop starting all the time. But it's not my style. I like things to have a flow, and I suppose I naturally play in a sort of black metal style. Perhaps I've never been good enough to play in a death metal style, I don't know, but that's what naturally comes out of me. I should also point out that Dowr An Boekka means water, the imp, in Chrono-Cosmological. I forgot to mention on the last segment that you want to, or when I create music, I want it to be sort of accessible, but more accessible as I get older. But the most important thing is when you're creating music, it has to make you go, "Ooh, what's that?" It's part of the exploration phase. This is probably the most important thing about music, I think. Anyway, next up, on Dowr An Boekka, once I got the riffs down, I programmed the drums. So you can see some very sort of rudimentary drum patterns here. And I also add in some synthesizers to the guitar notes. So this is sort of what it sounds like. I use Machine software, which is pretty damn decent. I was recommended this by Dr. Best, I think he's called, from Mysticum, which is why I purchased it. You get the idea? I should also point out that Dowr An Boekka means water, the imp, in Chrono-Cosmological. Right, once the drums are together with the synth, I then hand it to one of my good friends, Jesus, and he learns it on the bass guitar. Then on to the next stage of the process. So, once the guitars are written and the drums are programmed and the synth added in, then we get some vocals. What I usually do, or what I'm going to do on the Dowr An Boekka project, is sit down, figure out some vocal patterns, and then send them to my good friend Steve, who is going to do his vocals over the top, copying the patterns I've laid out. It's got fantastic range, which you can quite clearly hear here. I should also point out Dowr An Boekka means water, the imp in Chrono-Cosmological. Right, I think that pretty much wraps up the process, where I'm at the minute anyway. It's a very strange video, this one. A hungover explanation of how I make music. I should also point out that Dowr An Boekka means water, the imp in Chrono-Cosmological.